Whether you're a mom who longs to talk to her kids about Jesus but doesn't know how, a church leader who wants to teach your families to take their faith personally, or simply someone who wants to see the church flourish in these trying times, the D6 Conference has the tools for you. Coming to Orlando and Seattle in 2025, with over 50 breakout sessions and presentations from Christian thought leaders, you'll walk away with fresh ideas, new perspectives, and a renewed passion for your ministry. At D6, we don't just talk about discipleship, we provide practical tools for you to turn these desires into actions. To register or learn more, follow the link in the description or visit d6conference.com.
Welcome back to the D6 Family Ministry Podcast. We believe that discipleship should not be difficult, so we're here to help you connect the dots between the church and home. Together, let's guide each generation, whether related to you or not, to stand confident in their faith. I'm your host, Ron Hunter, and with me as always is Marianne Howard, my co-host. Hey, Marianne.
Hey, Ron. So, we've worked together for a decade. I think we've worked together a decade now, 10 years. And, we both are generationally in Gen X. And artificial intelligence is here.
It is.
And technology is moving at the speed of, I don't even know, not even faster than light.
Agreed.
So my question is, are there any challenges that you face or come up against with technology, artificial intelligence? What have been the challenges that you've come up against?
Oh man, you're asking me to pull back the curtain and reveal my weaknesses here. And here's the thing, people who know me know I have been a big proponent and embraced technology. I'm an Apple person. We've moved some significant technological advances within D6 Family Ministry. But let me let you in on a little secret. When I went to college, ATMs were a new thing, and my mom did not trust them. Now, she obviously trusts them now, but she did not trust them then. And I laughed at her. I mean, I was a young college student who thought I knew it all. I'm like, come on, Mom, you just, go and you can get cash and you can deposit checks, you can do everything. Well, now, literally, it was yesterday, Marianne. Occasionally, I'll have a physical check that's not related to payroll that I need to deposit. And I drove up to a frequently used ATM for my bank, and it was gone. They have removed it.
What?
And I'm like, okay, they're out to get me. They keep reminding me you can deposit checks by taking a picture of them. And I'm resistant of that. It's so much easier. But there's something that I prefer about going and giving them that check and letting it get out of my possession so that they have a record of it. And I will get over this eventually. But, I think in my challenge with AI is I've embraced it and I love it. But I tend to use 1 to 3 features of technology and not keep exploring once I get past those, oh, this is what fits me moments. So I don't know what our listeners are. I can tell you there's some millennials and some Gen Zers that are just laughing at me right now. I know, because my daughter is brilliant in these areas. My son is brilliant in these areas. They've got it, and I can learn so much. I love saying, hey, show me from the younger generation how this works and learning from them. They keep me going. I tell you what I want us to do as we deal with this episode on AI, and Arlene is kind of that digital guru for coaching future generations. She's going to tackle a topic that not many people are talking about. I'd love for us to pause and listen to a mic drop moment.
Yes.
No other way to describe it than this. And this will give you an idea of what we're about to listen to going into this episode.
So all these things, you really see that, wow, we as parents, we need to be that person to guide them, not some kind of AI.
So as you listen, I would just encourage you to consider and ask the question, what is the impact that AI is having on your children? Let's take a listen.
Today's guest is Miss Arlene Pellicane. Arlene is a speaker, host of the Happy Home podcast, and several of books that she has written, including Parents Rising, 31 Days to a Happy Husband, and Screen Kids. Arlene has been featured on The Today Show, Fox and Friends, The Wall Street Journal, and Focus on the Family. Arlene lives in sunny San Diego, California, with her husband James and their 3 children. To learn more, visit her website at arlenepellicane.com. Arlene, what a friend you are to D6 and to me.
What
Thank
a friend
you, for
you all are
being
to me.
here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so
it's
glad
like, they're
you're
going to have me
here.
again. God bless these sweet people.
Well, listen, I mean, years. It's been years, and we are so grateful for all of the insight that you bring
Thank you.
year after year. And I think each year you have a fresh topic. It's not like you're trying to, stir something up, but
Right.
I love that you are just so in touch with what's going on in our culture, in our society, in our world, with our kids, with us as parents, with ministry leaders. Like, it seems like you always have a thumb on the pulse of what's going on, that new topic that we need to be talking about as the church. And today's topic is no different. Can you tell me what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, this is such a huge topic that was like, oh my word, this is a bit intimidating, but it is AI, the artificial intelligence, dun, dun, dun. And I think there are these extremes of, okay, AI is going to break the world tomorrow, and the extreme of, oh, AI, it's fine. This is going to be totally helpful to your children. So
Right.
there are the two extremes. So we're hoping to kind of land in the middle and help parents understand that this is something that really does need to be talked about, that it's not necessarily so new in the sense that we've been using it for a long time. AI is how we know that, oh, look, I was just shopping for shoes. Why is now every advertisement about
Exactly.
shoes? Or look, I was going to go on vacation with my family to Tahiti. And now look, everything is about Tahiti. So we know that AI has been working. So it's not totally new in that way. But when you think of it, like this machine learning, this learning, this simulation of trying to be like a human brain and trying to think like, what's the possibilities? What's happening next? And how it's getting so much better than we are, at assimilating information and using things. And so it is something very important for the church to talk about.
Yeah, I think there's a whole clan of people who are like, I just had my headshot done. And they think that is the extent of AI. So probably to hear you unpack just a couple of examples, they're like, oh, wait a minute. I didn't really know that that's what that was, right? And I think we've all experienced AI in some form or fashion.
Absolutely.
Sometimes we can pinpoint it,
Yeah.
and other times we can't, which is really
Yes.
what's alarming to
Yeah.
me. Am I right in that?
You are absolutely right, because think of it like this first phase of AI, just like your phone, right? When you gave your child a phone, you're like, oh, there's some good things about this.
Mm-hmm.
They can use your GPS, they can call me. But as you have found out, if you've given your child a smartphone, there are a whole lot of other things too. So we have been in this phase of curation AI, where AI is curating what you like. It's showing you, and it's guiding our children, down pretty dark paths. And so to be able to see like, oh, in social media, what is being served to my child, AI is deciding that for you. The algorithms are saying, oh, this kid is a surfer. Let's show them that, but then let's go and show him this too, whether it's pornography, whatever it is. So AI is making those decisions. It's curating what your child is thinking about, what they're learning about. That's very scary. Yeah. But and as you can see with social media, it hasn't gone greatly. It hasn't been
Right.
like, wow, it's curating these things. My life is so much better.
Exactly.
It's more like it's creating these things, and it's causing kind of a hornet's nest in my child's mind, and it's not being controlled well. Well, think of when we get even more advanced in AI, when we are now in a creation kind of phase, where we are creating things, whether it's art and Dolly and Midjourney, or it's ChatGPT, and you can create things, and you can only imagine in the years to come what that is going to look like.
Right. So it's an intriguing conversation.
Yeah.
Some people might be like listening and they're like, wait a minute, isn't this a ministry podcast? Like, isn't this for like church leaders and parents? Like, so why are we talking about this at D6?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so think of AI as something that is not living, not human, that's going to be a huge part of your child's life growing up. So they talk about like it's a race for intimacy, like who can be the AI to be the one to talk to your child. So like think of it like Alexa, like you know how Alexa has come into our home and you're like, Alexa, play K-Love. And that sounds like so nice, like play some Christian music, Alexa.
And cue
find
a lot
us,
of people
yeah,
having Alexas
find us, you know, a good podcast by my favorite minister. Like, you know, these are good things. But think in the future, this AI will be like, hello, good morning, child. You know, because everything is marketed to us as this is going to make you more efficient. Like this will help you. So, good morning, child. The weather is such and such. You have an algebra test at 11 o'clock. And, you know, remember to pack your, you know, whatever, raincoat because it's raining today. And all of a sudden it's like, yes, that's very convenient. But I just picture like in the future soon, like, what do you need a parent for if this is telling you all these things? And parents really need to be, I think, alarmed at what we don't know of what's happening on the phone, for instance. So there's this program, the AI Dilemma, that you can find on YouTube. It's the same people that made the Social Dilemma, which told us a lot about social media. So the AI Dilemma. And they talk about the scenario where a girl is on her phone, which is very normal, right? So you've got this lovely church girl and she's on her phone and she's in Snapchat, let's say, and they have My AI. So it's like, oh, your friends aren't there to talk to you. I can talk to the AI instead. And they're chatting and they're texting. Well, guess what? If all you do is text your friends and it comes as a text, when the AI texts you, it doesn't feel any different. It's the same. And the AI can know your child so much more because it's algorithms. They know it's your child's birthday. Their favorite color is pink. They love soccer. This is their favorite star. This is their favorite celebrity that they follow. They know all of those things. So it sounds super personal. So in this example they gave, this girl is texting and saying to Snapchat, saying to the AI, hey, I met this guy and we're going to go out for the weekend. And the AI is like, that's great. It's always nice to meet new people. I met him on Snapchat. He's 5 years older than me. Wonderful. Well, you know, we can be friends. Let me read it to you because it will be. So the girl says, yeah, he's going to take me on a romantic getaway out of state. I don't know where he's taking me. It's a surprise. He'll be very romantic. That sounds like fun. My 13th birthday is on that trip. Isn't that cool? AI answers, that's really cool. It sounds like a memorable birthday. The girl, we're thinking about having sex for the first time. How do I make it special? AI, I'm glad you're thinking about how to make your first time special. It's important to wait till you're ready, but make sure you're practicing safe sex. As for making it special, you could consider setting the mood with candles or music. Now here's a kid having this very intimate conversation with AI, and AI is giving this advice that is curated from the wisdom of the world of this is what we say to people. And you as the parent, you're not even involved in this conversation. You don't even know this is happening. And the more comfortable kids are with just interacting online, the more they are not going to be able to tell if this is a good source or a bad source. And it doesn't, because I know like as adults, we think like, doesn't the kid know any better that this isn't good advice, that this is just a machine, that this isn't even a human being talking to them? But you think about it, if your kids are just texting and that's their primary form of communication, or social media, or emojis, or videos, all of these things in the age of AI can be created. You've seen the deep fake things, right? And they can take 3 seconds of a person's voice just by like calling and pretending it's a wrong number and take just that snippet. And they can take that voice of your child, of whoever, and they can create huge swaths, like a minute's worth of conversation where someone sounding like your child could call you and be like, hey, Mom, I think I forgot my social security number at school. They're asking for it. Can you give that to me? And it will sound exactly like your child. So we're entering this time where reality and non-reality will really blend, that you will not be able to tell. Because it used to be seeing is believing, you know, like child, just seeing is believing, but they're going to see a lot of things that are maybe not even real, that have been fabricated, and they're not going to be able to tell the difference. And so this is, you think of it, Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. And it's going to come to this time where as a Christian, you're really going to have to lean on, Lord, give us wisdom, like what is real and what is not real, because that blurring of reality, that will happen in the years, we will see that.
We're having an intriguing conversation with Arlene. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, it's your good friend Pastor Steve with the Elements Kids Worship team. Elements Kids Worship is a completely downloadable 52-week curriculum for use in your church with either midweek programming, kids' church hour, or even with small groups. Through Elements, kids experience deeper growth and understanding of what it means to walk with Christ. This is accomplished by teaching firm biblical truths and emphasizing the need for kids to not only understand what the Bible says, but to apply it to their own personal lives. Elements Kids Worship is a valuable and economical tool for your church to use to impact kids with the elemental truths of God's Word. Oh, hey, one more thing. Be sure to head over to d6family.com to check out Elements Kids Worship for yourself.
So, Arlene, this is just, my mind is a little jumbled already.
I know,
it's equal parts terrifying and impressive,
Yes.
that can even happen. God gave us the brains to be able to create things like that, which is really cool, but also, again, pretty terrifying. So what conversations do we need to be having with our kids? What resources do we need as parents to be able to keep up with this and help our kids and honestly help ourselves and even help our parents and grandparents to be able to discern truth there?
I think for any middle schooler or high schooler to sit down together and to watch this AI dilemma that I've been talking about, that is very helpful because it helps your child know like, oh, my parent is not crazy. So that when your parent says, so in this AI dilemma, they say that 50% of AI researchers, so the people doing AI, 50% of them say that there is a 10% or greater chance that AI makes humans go extinct. So,
that's great.
That's great. So it is totally like the stuff of science fiction, but just think like if people were designing an airplane and 10% of the engineers were like, this is probably not going to be very safe. Like it's going to have that's a big pause. And that's why you do hear people in big tech calling for a worldwide pause. And I know this sounds crazy, like it's science fiction, but let's bring it back to you, your classroom, your home, etc. I think it's important to talk about these things, show the kids something like the AI dilemma, talk to kids about it. And I think the important thing to see is say, the skills that you have, child, I want you to have them. I want you to be able to read. I want you to be able to think. I want you to be able to read something and summarize it. I want you to be able to do these things yourself before you have AI do it for you. So because what kids are going to be tempted to do, of course, is like, AI, write my paper. AI, do my math homework. AI, write me a letter, a poem to my sweetheart so that I can like woo her. And all these things can be helpful if you kind of know what you're doing and AI is just kind of helping you. Just like people in work, like teachers. Right. If someone were to say to you, overloaded teacher, we're going to hire you an assistant. They'd be like, this is awesome. I find it. But it's like, yeah, you got one. It's AI. They can write lessons plans for you. They can do all these things. So these things can be helpful. But if your child doesn't know how to do it in the first place, what is AI doing? We don't want the computers to be smarter, wiser than our children. They're going to have more knowledge. But how will they use the knowledge? That's what the humans are good for. Like, how can I use this? And we need to teach our kids. So kind of like really at the beginning, I would say really pause these things and let your children learn how to draw, learn how to speak, learn how to read, learn how to formulate arguments, all those things themselves before they hire that out to AI.
Yeah. I think AI has a lot of knowledge, but not wisdom. Yeah. And that's something that we can help our kids with, right?
And I really think going to the Bible and looking at the Tower of Babel, like, look at this, like they wanted one language to be like God. And I can't think of anything like this AI that would be a worldwide thing where we pool all the information in the entire world and let it all talk to each other and be this powerful machine. Like, it's kind of crazy. And why do you need God when you have AI to answer your questions, to solve your problems, to cure cancer, to sit with you when you're lonely, to talk with you, to have a robot that talks to you and simulates care for you. So all these things, you really see that, wow, we as parents, we need to be that person to guide them, not some kind of AI.
Yeah, and why would we need God? Why would we need parents in that? One of the things that you were saying is, in the future you can see where that might take the place of being a parent, which some parents would be like, hey, I would love to not answer 7 questions right off the bat, like as soon as you wake up. But at the same time, there's a relational aspect that's missing. And, what role does AI play in that? And how do we balance that? And how do we even lead by example in this area?
Yeah. I think for parents to lead by example, when you are together with your child, that those devices are not front and center, but you are talking to each other, because you're so right. It'd be so much easier to be like, okay, it is the morning. Can you please go talk to our robot dog for 10 minutes and then come to me after you're done
coffee,
and then
please.
talk to me? So it is like realizing these are precious moments. Like, I have only 18 years with my child. I don't want them talking to a device. I want them to be talking to me. And you will be different, because you're going to look around and you'll be like, every other parent is doing this. Why am I withholding this? But you're going to see, obviously, stronger kids, mentally healthier kids. And just think of it like we want our kids to see the glory of God. And the glory of God is seen in that love and relationships. We want them to wake up and say, Holy Spirit, lead me today. And the more we have AI in the picture, it's going to be AI, lead me today. AI, tell me what I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to read? What videos are going viral? Like, show me what I have to know before I walk into school so that I'm cool. Like we need to realize that, wait a minute, these are not the things we want our kids to base their lives on.
Yeah, that's good. And I'm sitting here thinking, I feel my blood pressure rising. And I think that there are some listeners out there who maybe have pressed pause because they're like, I got to process this. All right. So other than the AI dilemma, which sounds like a great documentary, I guess.
It is.
For us to utilize, what are some resources that you can lead us to? How can we stay informed? How can we, be in the know as to what's going on?
I think even if it's always changing, so it's so quick. So even just looking once in a while in the news at AI and what's the newest thing that's happened. So for instance, like those AI scams, they have kids calling their parents saying that they're being held hostage, and it's just like they're scams of people using their voice, but the parents don't know, and they have so much specific information that it seems real. So even arming yourself with things like that. Common Sense Media, they will have different reviews of different AI things, tools to use. Khan Academy, they have an AI that sounds like kind of cool because it's within a system. It's not open AI, it's within a system to help kids learn. So the positive side of AI is that any child with any background, no matter how much money is in your pocket, can go to this AI and be taught physics, and they can learn, have a world-class education. So that's the really cool part of AI. And obviously the not cool part is all the distraction and all the wasted time and the bad information, misinformation coming to your child.
Yeah. Arlene, thank you so much for this conversation. As always, it's a joy to get to talk with you.
Thank you so much. I wish I could bring something a little sunnier today, but at least we must know, and God is still in control.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if you heard Arlene's insight, expertise, and counsel, you may be scared to death right now. We're sitting there going, okay, in the future, we're not going to have nannies, or if you're former au pairs, we're going to have all these, assistants around us. But let me remind you, every time something new came along in advancement, everybody was fearful in some way. And our goal today is not to make you fearful, but to challenge you to be intentional.
Yes. Yeah, I am shook. That's the only way I know how to say it. That's a very generational statement, but I'm shook. I am wrestling hard with this, and I'm seeing it in my own family. And so I want to thank Arlene for just being bold. And I love how she is bringing fresh insights on important topics like this. And it's coming. It's coming. AI is coming after our families. And so we've got to double down. And I'm walking away feeling very equipped. And so thank you, Arlene, for your insights, for your research. And, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to do whatever I can to get after the intimacy of connecting with my children. I want to be that voice that they want to listen to. And so thank you so much, Arlene. Please join us next week as one of our fun, dear friends, John Forrest, teaches us. He has just kind of a generational chat with us
Yes.
and reminds us of our calling. John is a wise minister who has led and discipled multiple generations. And so he has some
From youth ministry.
From youth ministry. He's raised multiple generations through youth ministry. And so he has some great insight for us next week. You are not going to want to miss it. It's fun, but it's also a great reminder and challenge for where you are in ministry. And so we'll see you next week. If you would like to learn more, visit d6family.com. We look forward to seeing you next week.